All right, let's bring in Bill O'Reilly. Bill, help me understand this from your perspective. To me, this is just such a morass. It is such a quagmire what's happening with this regime. And I don't understand why the choice wasn't much more simple. All right, we're going to go in and take them out, or we're not. How did we get here?
Because in the beginning, Donald Trump thought he could get a deal and accomplish the goals that he wanted to accomplish without killing civilians. And now he's still holding to that because inflation inside Iran is running at 77%. And therefore, people are having trouble eating, even buying a bottle of water. And how long are you going to be able to put up with that?
So they're selling everything they have. They're trying to get out. They won't let them out.
It's just
They're
chaos.
using that terrible thug force to round people up again.
So the U.S. intel is basically saying, look, we can go in and annihilate them and kill thousands of civilians, or we'll give it a little bit more time and maybe it'll collapse from within as people don't have anything to eat. And that's where the president is. He's trying to temper it. But something has to happen fairly quickly, I would say, because the American people are losing confidence in the entire endeavor. Whenever you hear the words, it's Trump's war, you know you're dealing with somebody who really has no idea. It's everybody's war. I mean, a nuclear weapon, as Senator Fetterman just said, it's a threat to everybody on the planet. So if you don't think it's a threat, then you're a moron. Or you're dishonest.
Right, but there's only one answer. And it was the only legitimate aspect of him getting out of the JCPOA, which, as you know, I was against. But for exactly this reason. The only way you keep them from getting a nuke, Bill, is by removing the regime. If there was no will for that, and I understand why, and the president's, what you state as his motivation is a humanistic one, then there was never ever going to be any other situation.
Not really, because there was optimism that once the frontline mullahs were murdered or killed, whatever word you want to use, by the Israeli attack, that the capitulation would be much easier and that the people would rise up as they did it under the Shah, who was terrible, but not nearly as terrible as the mullahs. You know, Fetterman, I hope he read my book, Confronting Evil, because he's quoting from it every other line. That you just can't look away from this kind of evil stuff. And Americans certainly are looking away from it. They want it to end. They don't really care how it ends. It wasn't a factor last night in California in a vote there. I don't think it's a factor in Iowa or Maine either. I think it's the individual candidates doing what they do. Although in California, I think the people are just fed up with the state of the state. But going back to Iran, President Trump is giving it every possible way that the Persian people will rise up and do what has to be done.
I look at what's happening with the domestic agenda, and the two best ideas, my opinion, that came out of the president's mouth evaporated. I want to know why. When he said, you know, these credit card rates, they're way too high. You know, these people are making plenty of money if they cap them at 10, 11%. I'm going to get on that. 3 days later, it evaporated. Then he said, I'm calling in the healthcare bigs, and they'll listen to me when I call them. And I'm going to bring them in, and I'm going to say, look, you're making too much money, all right? And we're going to change it with or without you. You want to be part of it or not? Two best things he said. Both of them evaporated. Why?
I don't know why, and you can add a third. Insurance premiums, not health related. Your house, your car, all of that.
Sure.
There is
skyrocketing.
There is profiteering going on, there's no doubt. The gas companies are profiteering by selling American oil overseas. Most Americans don't know that. I mean, we're exporting even now as our prices have doubled. We're selling overseas. And quarter by quarter, if you look at BP and the others, they're just making money like crazy. Now, the federal government historically does not intrude on private business, capitalism. Teddy Roosevelt did, and that's what made Teddy's legacy. And I don't know why President Trump hasn't put this on the top shelf. I don't know. I do know that Iran is all-consuming for him at this point. He's trying to save his legacy by breaking that country.
If I were he, two ideas. One, he's not going after these guys because these are the guys who fund the system. It's true on both sides. He just happens to be in power right now, and we've never seen it as obvious as this before. But there's only one reason that you say you're going to take people on and then you don't. It's because someone tells you you can't, and you listen.
I don't buy that. I mean, Trump's a marauder. If somebody tells him he can, he's more likely to do it. He's got a lot of things that are taking up his attention. If some of them are not necessary, like the fund to pay people and all that, I knew that was going to go away on day one. So I can't really ascribe a motive that somebody got to Donald Trump. I've never seen that happen. He does what he wants to do. He goes against his advisors. Sometimes, Cuomo, and this will shock you, he doesn't even listen to me. How could that possibly happen?
I don't know, but maybe he's smarter than I thought he was.
Okay, but I said early on, you got to get those insurance companies in line because they're just gutting the working person. And the working person...
I mean, look, we're not the only ones who know this, Bill. So it's got to be something else, because they are desperate, right, to kind of throw stuff up against the wall to prove to people that they're doing things for him. And then he puts out a tweet, or whatever you call it, on Truth Social, where he tells you the truth. I'm 38-0. I'm getting rid of these comedians. I'm getting rid of these pundits. I'm so proud to be working for you. That's what he thinks working for the American people is settling political scores.
He's a culture
that are only
warrior.
Really meaningful to him.
He's a culture warrior, there's no doubt about it. And those are easy to understand issues that resonate with people. So as a populist, he's going to go for those, but I think he can do both. And I'd like to see him take on the big, and I think you will see it because he knows, the Republicans know as well, that they're going to have to give the American worker and voter some relief. And it's going to have to be concrete relief. Because our economy is pretty good, particularly with these refunds coming back out of the big, beautiful bill. And then you've got full employment. Their jobs are plentiful. And inflation here is only 3.8%. So the economy's good, but people don't live or die by numbers. They live or die by what they're putting in their car. And so the Republican Party knows that, and I suspect we're going to see more.
Gas and groceries.
Right?
Gas and groceries. It is a K-shaped economy. The investor class is doing well. The wage working class is struggling. And you have to make a choice about which side you want to benefit. So far, the president's choice, I think, is going to work against him in the midterm. I have breaking news that I want your quick comment on.
Okay.
The White House has just put out that they will officially move on the nomination of Todd Blanche for Attorney General. Doing that right now with the slush fund stuff that he has been forced to own, do you think he's setting him up to lose in the Senate?
No, I think he is being rewarded for doing something that potentially was going to hurt Donald Trump. And Blanche backed him off it. Look, Blanche's a tough guy. That's what you need in this job. You don't need Merrick Garland in the job. I like Pam Bondi, but you don't need Pam Bondi, okay? You need a real tough hombre in there to stop the madness. And the madness is on display in California, and which is why when you talk to Hilton, the reason that Hilton's even competitive is because of the drug addiction, the crime out of control, the filth, the dirt, the disorder. That's why Steve Hilton is in play. And Blanche is part of that movement. We're going to clean it up. And Trump likes tough guys. That's what he likes them. And that's why Blanche...
Yeah, he likes it as long as they're not tough to him. But how can Blanche be seen as cleaning it up when he's okay with what the DOJ is doing and settling all these scores and going after E. Carroll and practicing lawfare and trying to defend the slush fund? Who's he being tough for?
Listen, the E. Carroll fraud should be prosecuted. That is the most outrageous story. I've been doing it on BillO'Reilly.com all week. It's so outrageous that the woman testifies in a deposition under oath that nobody is helping her, no lawyer is helping her, no pro bono. And then we find out she got $7 million from a
What
PAC.
does that have to do with what happened in the changing room in Macy's?
Because nobody knows what happened in the changing room. That's
She
why.
knows, and the jury thinks they know.
If you're gonna do that, then I can't help you. What I can say is
do what?
legitimate.
Respect the administration
No,
and justice?
believe that woman. Why would you believe that woman when she doesn't even know what year it was?
The jury listened to it and believed her.
The New York City jury. Okay, they hate Trump from day
Look,
one.
you either respect the justice system or you don't.
Well, I don't respect that verdict, and I believe that Ms. Carroll committed crimes. And I'm happy the Justice Department is going after her because she flat out lied about who was funding this lawsuit. $7 million? And she does, and she, and you know what a lawyer said?
So you're in high
dudgeon. Her memory's
dudgeon.
refreshed now. Yeah,
You're in high, first of all, nobody. Hey, have you ever read through the depositions of Donald Trump?
Okay.
And what he has said in depositions?
Why are we on Donald Trump's deposition when we're talking about
Because your standard is polenta.
No,
it is a mushy standard.
My standard is what makes sense. That's my standard.
So it makes sense to go after her, someone that a jury found he assaulted for $7 million, but it doesn't bother you that he is putting hundreds of millions of dollars in his kids' pockets. That does not deserve investigation.
What pocket is this
But
now?
the lady who was attacked in the room does.
What pocket is this that he's putting? What are you talking about?
His sons have acquired interests in multiple businesses that benefit from government contracts in areas they have no clue what they're doing.
Okay.
They've never been in the business before.
I believe that
they
the
have no
Trump
experience
organization is apart from him. And if they're doing something illegal...
His sons? Come on, I'm just saying, it doesn't bother you, Bill. You'll explain it away.
I don't know how we got
because it's defending him, that's all.
How
and you're saying, what does this have to do with E. Jean Carroll? It's corruption. If you care about corruption in one place, you care about it everywhere.
You mentioned Carroll, and it was corrupt. It's one of the biggest corrupt things I've ever seen. And you're throwing out stuff against the Trump sons that has not been adjudicated at all. That's what you're doing. You're convicting them right on your program. No, you're convicting them right
You said you don't believe what was adjudicated. So something is adjudicated. You say you don't accept it. But now you're saying they're being wrongfully alleged.
And there's going to be a prosecution. There's going to be. I'll predict it right here.
We'll watch. We'll watch. I got to jump. But, Bill, I appreciate you making the case, as always. All right, don't forget, you can watch We'll Do It live every Thursday, BillO'Reilly.com, all podcast platforms. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.